Hey guys, this is Hectarios. Welcome back to the channel. Um, this is going to be a video about demons. My view, my take on them. If you saw the video I just posted prior to this, I was talking about my dream experience. Well, not dream, but my hypnagogic state experience. If you don't know what the hypnagogic state is, it's the state of being, of consciousness in between sleep and being awake. So I just posted a video about my experience with one of the goetic demons during that state. But I decided to do this video just like to share my views, my take on demons in general. First of all, the word demons, demon has a stigma because of Christianity and major religions, just like the word witch does, just like magic in general does. When you say the word demon, it carries a stigma with it. Well, just as you do with the word witch or with magic in general, with the practice of magic, as you're coming out of the Christian fear-based and ignorance, whether that's been misportrayed on purpose or out of just ignorance. Either way, as you're coming out of that, you fear magic less and you fear the word witch less. It just takes on a new significance and a new attitude towards it. It is the same with demons. They have been misportrayed and feared for really no logical reason. They're actually very useful spirits to work with in your process of empowerment. So when I first got into this, I really didn't like using the word demon or demons. I like calling them djinn. Okay? But they're a type of spirit that is in between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. They occupy a realm that is actually in between those two. So they're part of the spirit world, but they're also part of the physical realm at the same time. So that makes them very useful and helpful with certain things. With a lot of things in magic, actually. So when we're talking about demons, you can't really be fearful of them. It's the same as if you're trying to practice magic, but you're scared of magic or the different results or the different practices or whatever that you're doing. If you are scared of something, that takes away from its potency. It also puts a certain kind of result in your path. If you are fearful of the results of a spell, then more than likely it either won't work at all, or you're going to end up manifesting with the spell something negative because you were feeling a negative emotion of fear, anxiety, worry during the spell casting or the magic. Then your result is going to be something to fear or be worried about, okay? Or it's going to be some kind of negative result like that. So if you are fearful of demons, then when you try to evoke them, when you try to work with them, they're going to appear in a fearful way or in a intimidating aspect or way. All right. If you look at the old grimoires, they describe the demons specifically. Let's keep this to the Goetic demons. If you look at the Goetic, the Lesser Key of Solomon grimoire, it describes the demons in a grotesque aspect, and usually it will also include in the description, but they'll take on a nice human form if requested by the magician. Well, that's pretty much how it works. What you're expecting is what you're going to see. So, what you're expecting is a large part of your intention as well, okay? So understand that. If you expect to see something scary, then that is your intention, and that's what you will end up seeing. If you expect to see, a demon in the form of a human, or at least somewhat resembling a human form, that's what you're going to see, because that will be your intention as you're expecting it. My take on demons is that they are, they're just like people. Some of them are you're going to get along with, you're going to resonate with, you're going to be aligned with the same vibrations. Some of them not so much. So it's very individual. Just like whenever you're making relationships with another human being, some people might get along with a certain person and you don't get along with that person. Things like that to consider. So, that's just how it is with the spirits in general, and certainly when it comes to demons. It's very individualized, and you need to make sure that you are approaching it in a way of you're trying to build a relationship there. So, be kind. Don't use the old grimoire invocations of threatening the demons and things like that, because then they're going to appear to you, in an intimidating aspect or in a combative, conflicting aspect. If you approach them nice and politely, but yet also, transactional, where you are trying to elicit their help with something, a favor, give them offerings, offer a gesture or a favor to them, you will have much more success going about it that way than in a threatening, combative aspect towards the spirits. So, this is just my views on it and my way of practicing. I don't know how other witches practice. I do know that a lot practice how I just said, though. And, you can still make use of their seals and their sigils in your own way, rather than using it exactly how the instructions of the grimoire say to use it, where you're threatening them and binding them and things like that. You can just approach them more like how you approach a deity, with respect and reverence, but not subservience, okay? You don't need to grovel before any spirits or even deities. Approach it like a partnership, approach it like a friendship. And you will see results that way that are very beneficial and positive for you and for the spirit. But once again, they're not something to fear. They're not evil inherently. They're just like a human being. They can do good or bad depending on what they want to do, okay? And depending on, what they're doing, who they're interacting with. Is it an enemy to them? Is it someone who has been threatening them? Is it someone who fears them? Or is it someone who respects them? Is it someone who gives them offerings? Things like that. Colors how they, react and treat you. So, to summarize, don't fear them. Um, don't just think that they're all evil inherently and only approach them in that way, or to work with them for malicious purposes. You certainly can work with them for malicious purposes, but don't think that it's limited to that or that they are only evil, okay? You should realize that just by reading the grimoires itself, that they have particular things that they can help you with. That's good and beneficial. So just approach it with respect. Definitely take it seriously, and don't mock them or belittle or threaten the spirits. Approach them with reverence and with respect. Take what you're doing serious, but don't be fearful of it, because you do have a great amount of power by how you approach it and what you're doing. Okay, that is your power exerted. So if you approach it in a transactional way, with seriousness, with sternness, but also with a sense of relationship building and companionship, you will have much success by doing it like that. Do your research into whatever spirit you are wanting to work with, of course. As with anything, you need to do research into it, know what they're all about, know what powers that they can help you with, what different things that they can help you with, things like that. Know what they like as offerings. Talk with other witches and practitioners who have worked with them before. Get an insight from that you won't necessarily see in books or the old grimoires. And experiment with it. Don't be scared to experiment with your approach and how you do it. I did start off doing this type of work with demons by following the grimoires exactly, and I just experimented with it, and I have had much more success with my approach that I use now, where I just do away with the entire grimoire tradition whatsoever, except for using the seals. But I just use it in my own way, and I just call on the spirits with my own words and from my heart, but also being specific with what I want their help with. And I've had much more success doing it that way than the grimoire tradition way. So I just wanted to give that little bit of my take on it. I will probably do more videos on the goetic demons, or on some particular ones. But this was just a brief take on, my approach and my views. And really just letting you all know, don't fear the demons, okay? They're not something to fear. They're just like any other spirits that you can work with, okay? Actually, in my practice, they have been more able to elicit physical manifestations and physical results more quickly than, say, a deity who is more separate from the physical realm than a demon is, okay? So that wraps up for this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Please like the video or share, or if you have any experiences or methods, please share that as well, okay? Blessed be y'all.